So, in this video, this will be a video of me going to my first mini GP track day. Just a open track day, not actually competing, just having some fun. My friend invited me to come out, give me a few pointers, and just have a fun day at the go-kart track. So, yeah.
Do your own thing. All right. Fun, play around. Don't worry about me. All right.
All right.
Enjoy it. I'll wait for you.
All right. So in this video, I guess I'll do a little commentary and talk about my experiences riding this bike around the track. First time ever racing this bike, and I guess I'll go through the things that I noticed about the bike, things that could probably be worked on, and some stuff I could probably work on myself to be better. So just a little commentary. I'm thinking about just uploading all my runs, just like raw footage of it. So yeah, so this one I'm just gonna edit out some of the boring parts and just show the parts that I noticed that were interesting and things that I can see myself struggling at, and things that could be worked on, and things that the bike is struggling to do. So now that you've gotten a look about how the whole track layout it kinda is, I'll start doing a little bit of commentary and editing out the boring parts and showing you the parts where I found interesting, where I was struggling, things I need to work on, or things that I saw that the bike needs to work on, where I saw it was struggling. So at this upcoming turn, I noticed that the faster I was going into that turn, I would already hit rev limiter in second gear, and as soon as I end up exiting that turn, it's a slight incline going uphill. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be changing into third gear before the turn, or just kind of just keep the throttle going, not hit rev limiter. Not really sure. Still trying to figure that out. Same turn again. I just want to show you that I do hit the rev limiter. Still not sure whether to go out of the turn in third gear because it bogs up on that incline. my first run on the track, I also noticed that I was looking behind me to see if there's any motorcycle behind me because I thought that someone's going to hit me. Once I got off the track, my friend mentioned to me to not worry about who's behind you. If there's anyone that's behind you and they're going to pass you, they'll find a way to get around you and pass you safely. So the rest of the video from that run, not much really happened. So, you know, got off the track, waited for the go-karts to all get on the track and do their runs, and then go on to the next run.
Our visor popped out.
Huh?
Our visor popped out.
Nice.
With these.
So off the track, my friend gave me a little bit of advice, a couple of tips on, you know, getting more lean into the turn, stuff like that, how I'm supposed to be positioned. And he said in the next run, he was going to stay behind me for a little bit so he can get a better idea of what I need to work on and how I can improve my riding, even with my Z125 having some disadvantages. With the little tips and tricks my friend gave me, you can actually hear me slightly touch the ground with my knee. laps I did, the more you can hear me drag knee on both the left and the right. At that point, when I realized that I am actually able to drag knee now, I started going faster and faster because I got more and more excited and happy. Right about this time, my camera was dying. I didn't even realize what was going on, but I almost hit my friend when we were coming up at that one turn before the camera cut off.
Well, that's why my battery's like at 8%. That's why it shut off.
Bro, if you have your charger, I have a battery pack.
Yeah, I do have a spare charger.
He's like, what are you betting me for? I definitely need to hydrate. I just lost like 2 pounds of sweat that session, 100%.
Probably.
So during this cooldown period, my friend was giving me pointers about how I'm supposed to be gripping the handlebars while making the turns. And we walked around to check out a couple of things. We ended up meeting an old guy with his son that they were on a practice day. And they brought out a Ovali 190 and a YCF 150, just like my friend's. This kid's really good, and he's been training for a really good amount of time, so that's pretty cool. Got to see him on track. even though my little 125 was no match for the two 150s and soon to be shown the 190 Ovali, it was still really cool. It was really awesome, amazing to just see how someone who is a lot of experience be so nimble and be so fluid and really display their experience and skill on the track. Also going at it with my friend on his YCF 150. So once our run around the track was essentially over and we had our cool down period, we had more of a discussion between the father and the son and about the setup and all that other stuff and his experience when he was younger doing MotoGP in his day and then now training his son. One thing that he was talking to me about, which I was kind of thrown off by, was he said that I looked very comfortable, like I knew what I was doing on my bike, and I was actually doing pretty well for a 125. And he asked me, do I have any racing experience? And I just told him honestly that it was my first time ever racing a bike, ever. It was my first time here, first ever. And he asked me more questions about my experience in riding, and I said that this was my first year of owning this bike, and this is my first track day. You know, I really don't have much experience in regards to racing bikes. And then he asked me if I had any experience at all in motorsports, and I said the only experience I really have is through cars, which I've done many seasons of autocross and like 2 seasons of drifting under my belt. And he said, okay, that explains it, because you know where to look when you're making the turns, you know where your head position is on the track, and you seem very comfortable. You're pretty fluid, you know, leaning over, almost, you know, doing everything you're supposed to be doing, dragging knee and stuff like that. So for someone that it's their first time and they kind of are learning stuff on their first day, he was saying that I was doing good. Like, I was learning quickly. It feels kind of weird, but I usually don't like, you know, gassing myself up and throwing an ego over myself and stuff like that. But I do appreciate that someone's, you know, looking at how I'm riding and just, I guess, complimenting on my riding, even though it was my first day and I really don't have experience. That's pretty cool. Thanks to that guy.
Well, I started to drag on this side now.
Nice. Nice.
I see what you mean in putting your foot, the ball of your foot right, like here.
Edge, yeah.
Yeah.
And now it gets your weight 2 inches over on the bike. Everything counts, you know?
Yeah.
Your weight here versus your weight here is a big difference, you know?
Yeah. One thing I notice is when I do that, like put my ball of my foot right there, I feel like my leg can lock in.
Yeah.
So when I'm like all the way up
you
to
get
here,
a better section, yeah.
it's like
you can lock your foot like this, ends up like this.
Yeah.
You know, you're like this, and your fucking leg is kind of like, on this kind of bike, is locked
Yeah.
against the tank, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely sparking.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up with him at all.
Huh?
I couldn't keep up with him at all.
Yeah, he's good.
So at our next cool down period, we met a whole racing team from the Dominican Republic, and one of the racing team members had his son, who also had an Ovale 190, and that kid's really good, so we get to see him out on the track. him pass me because my little 125 is no match for the 150. So, as you can see, I got overlapped many times. Many times. No matter, even though all the guys are a lot faster than me, their bikes are a lot faster than me, I still was having the time of my life just going at my own pace. So, on this run, that kid that had the YCF 150, he wasn't on the track right away because he was getting ready to hop on his Ovale 190. So eventually you get to see two Ovale 190s on the track and you'll get to see them overlap me. after that run, I definitely felt I was going faster, even though I was getting overlapped many times.
Well, you're definitely going faster because I couldn't catch you that time.
I was going faster?
Yeah, because that's the first session I didn't lap you.
Well, I guess it's because I did what you said about like that turn. Don't hit the brakes.
The hairpin?
After the hairpin.
And then not braking uphill, yeah.
Yeah.
You could keep so much more pace up there, right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't think so, and then you take it and you're like, oh, it's got this every time, right?
Yeah.
Because the bike really slows itself because you're going up.
Yeah. It took a little while because I was always jumping over the apex, but I finally got to the point where I would clear it.
Yeah.
So on this run, one of the guys from that racing team from the Dominican Republic has a CRF 150R, I believe, with a completely modified bike from suspension to performance. So you get to see how fast this guy blasts past by me. This time around, I feel like I went harder on the riding and the racing this time than my previous runs. I felt like I went really hard, pause, because my visor started to fog up and stuff like that, and I started to also experience my tire in the back slide out. Had a sensation of potential low siding, but didn't crash, so I guess I'm good.
That might be the that honestly might be the hardest I ever went.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was a good session.
That might be the hardest run I've ever done.
Good. Should be. You're loose now.
Like,
your body's loose, right? Like you're going to those positions without thinking now.
yeah, it's like my visor is starting to fog up. That's how I know that's how intense it is now.
Good. You're hooked.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush. Like if you want to do one more, I'm happy to hang.
It's whatever. Oh, this is probably the most beat up my tires have ever been.
Oh, I wanted to look at mine. That bike felt much better. I went out with 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see I'm getting like little ripples? That's what I'm looking for. I see like little tear.
I'm starting to see that, yeah.
A little bit, so you know that it's gripping a little better.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that on my tires.
That's good. Heat into them.
So this will be my last run of the day. Most of the people were already loading up their bikes and carts into trailers and trucks and getting ready to leave. I was still too hyped, too happy. I just wanted to go back out there for one last time. So my friend decided to watch from, I guess, the stands and watch my riding, my position. And from there, off the track, he would give me more advice, more tips, and just critique my riding. But yeah, so this one I'm just going to show you the first lap, and then I'll show you my last lap.
Last one on the track. Did well. You did well.
So yeah, that was the last round of the day. So pretty much got ready to go home and all that. But one thing I didn't mention was that one of the photographers from that racing team actually offered us photos that he would take of us on the track for $10 each. So we paid him $10, respect the hustle, and he took some pictures of us. And one thing I definitely did notice was that in the photos, I didn't have my head tucked in during the turns, which, either way, I'm still happy with the photos. Still had a good time at the track. It was my first day at the track on a bike ever. So much fun. And there's going to be more videos on, I guess, track days, because I do have another track day video that I had filmed. So look forward for that. But yeah, I think I'm going to use all the video footage that I have of this track day and just upload separate videos of just the raw footage of the full race of each round that I did individually. So hopefully someone with more experience in riding can watch the video and critique my riding, give pointers, give tips, advice on just be a better rider, or potentially look at the setup of my bike and give advice on what to do with the bike. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're up to date on all videos. Also follow me on Twitch. You can also check out some stickers that I've made on Etsy. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.